This is why we have to park in grocery store parking lots.
We're Gene and Shay, and after 4 years of living on the road in buses and vans, traveling through over 40 states and 3 countries with our 2 cats, Bean and Sprout, our lives were put on pause when I broke my arm in Central America and we were forced to take a break from life on the road for the winter. But today, we are officially heading back to the place we know best as we start our 5th year on the road and officially begin our tour to find out where we're going to plant some roots. Hello from Texas. This is our first time ever doing van life / bus life in Texas. And oh my god, you guys, if you haven't seen from the past couple intro clips, we've had quite the experience since we've been back on the road. So let me catch you up just a little bit. So we officially have been back on the road for a month, like I said, and we decided instead of doing what we normally do and driving from the Philadelphia area all the way over till we hit California through the middle of the country, we were going to kind of extend our way out west a little bit, especially since it was March going into April, and it's not exactly doable to travel to a lot of the states that we like to spend our summers in out west. It's still super cold in a lot of them. There's even been really big snowstorms, so we decided let's head south, let's try some of these southern states that we usually completely skip over, which led us to Florida. We have only done Florida van life one time before, and it was a struggle, so I'm going to insert that now, and then we will catch back up here in Texas where we have found the most beautiful campsite. Before I get ahead of myself, let's back up and look at a few weeks ago in good old Florida. Quick little interruption from the video to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is OM Systems. This is the OM5 camera, which I talked about in a previous video of ours. We are still going strong with this thing and loving it. I think instead of like a typical sponsor where I sit here and I tell you guys all the things that I love about this new vlog camera that we have, I'm instead going to just kind of use it throughout the video in different ways to highlight different features that I really like about it. So you're gonna notice that the entire vlog, except for the ones obviously where I'm holding the camera itself, is all shot on our LM5 by OM System. We have been using it for about 4 months now, ever since my last camera broke, and we are loving it. There are so many features on this bad boy, not to mention it just looks super cool. So sit back, watch all the different features as we use them as full-time content creators living out of our bus with our 2 cats, and enjoy the rest of the video. Now back to Florida, where our first test is to see if this thing is really weatherproof, drop-proof, and sandproof. Hello from Florida, one of the hardest places to do van life in the United States, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people in the van life world agree. So we just pulled in here. This is our second time ever in Florida on the road, but our first time in the bus. We came here about 4.5 years ago in our van, and we were only here for a few days, and it was quite hard to find spots where we could 1 fit, 2 were allowed, and 3 didn't end up getting the knock. So for the next 24 hours, we are going to be trying our hardest to figure out if van life is even worth it in Florida. It is obviously very beautiful. There's great beaches, and the weather is
A plus.
A plus. So we are going to make it our mission to try and really find our groove here in Florida. We made some coffee, as you guys kind of saw here, and then we headed for our first spot. I found this spot that was right near the beach, and it was free. It was just like a little pool off of sand, and we immediately pulled in and we were getting stuck. It just would have been a whole ordeal. And so then we went to another park down the road. We got out somehow Janet got us out of there. We went to a park about like 2 minutes down the road. It said no RVs, no buses. So then we went to another one which was much bigger. Again, no RVs, no buses, nothing our length or our height. And so we have found ourselves once again in a parking lot. We are at a Publix in Ormond Beach, Florida. And I think this is where we're gonna hang out for the day. The beach is right across the road, and so this is, so far I would say, a 2 out of 10 for Florida camping, but we will see where the day takes us. Okay, we are squared away at our grocery store parking lot, and now we're gonna get ready to go to the beach, which is right across the street. And if anyone finds out we're doing this, we will likely get a ticket on the bus. So we're gonna try and be very discreet as we walk away.
I hate it. It's so hard.
First non-negotiable is sunscreen, and you'll be putting some on too.
Whoa.
Paula's choice. Youth extending, you need this.
Keep that in, would you? Anyway, continue.
Youth extending daily hydrating fluid with SPF 50. You need this.
Okay.
You're getting old.
Oh my god.
Oh, it smells like summer. Let's rub our foreheads together to rub it in. Ew! You think they saw us leave our bus?
There's us just trying to not act like we left our bus to go be at a grocery store. This is why we have to park in grocery store parking lots.
We have made it to the beach. We have our speaker on, but it is 70 degrees and sunny, and now it feels worth it that we had to park at a grocery store. I would park anywhere to have this. I'm going to show you the view. Just wrapped up at the beach and we drove around a little bit more to try and see if we could find any place to sleep that we wouldn't get in trouble, but unfortunately we're just too big, so we decided to just go back about 20 minutes inland and go to yet another Cracker Barrel. The thing is, even the Cracker Barrels here, at least on the coast, a lot of the counties have like a no sleeping in your vehicle ordinance, and so even the Cracker Barrels, which are usually like 100% of the time, I know it goes back and forth with Walmart, even this place has a no parking overnight. But we did just see another RV pull in, so I think what we're gonna do is risk it, because I don't even know where we would go. We would have to pay for a campground, but it might even be too late anyway, so we're gonna risk it. I'm going to change around a little bit, wash my face because we were just at the beach, and make dinner while Gene plays some games, because dinner is my chore in this bus. I adjusted my angle a little bit, but I think what we're gonna end up trying to do after tonight is potentially go into more like Central Florida. I kind of suspected that being by the coast was going to be a little bit challenging, just because like those are where the tourists go, that's where like the expensive beach homes are in neighborhoods, and that's where in our experience we tend to have the most like pushback with getting away with free sleeping or like free camping in the bus and in the van. So I think tomorrow we're going to head inland towards a place called Alexander Springs. I heard the natural springs here are like absolutely stunning, and you can see manatees and crocodiles, so that might be the route we go, and we might just say screw it and start paying for some campgrounds, because feeling like you don't belong or like you're not wanted or you're gonna get woken up with a knock is not exactly what allows for a good night's sleep. So that is the next plan, but for now it is time to switch some things around and make some dinner. So what are you doing?
Setting up our projector screen.
Which is just a cheap
Sheet we cut in half.
from Walmart, right?
Yeah, we poke holes and use hooks. So one half goes here and the other half will go on those other screws up there. I'm playing Resident Evil 2 projector. PlayStation. And then we'll just plug in.
Okay, now while Gene plays some video games, I'm going to get started cooking dinner. We recently have made like a compromise that since Gene drives, if they wake up in the morning and make coffee, that I cook dinner, which is okay with me because I have way more energy at night and not in the morning. I hate making coffee first thing in the morning. So I'm going to show you kind of how we MacGyver our stove situation. The way we built it a little bit too close to this one cabinet we have, and so we have to tie it up. It doesn't really take more than 2 seconds, but it's another thing I also hate doing. Okay, here's what we're working with. We got some asparagus, so I'm gonna bake in the oven. Then we have these vegan Morningstar chicken strips, which is 24 grams of plant-based protein, then some jasmine rice, and then I'm gonna heat up this Trader Joe's creamy soup. It's a creamy mushroom soup, and I'm gonna turn this into a mushroom gravy with like a quarter of the amount of work if I made homemade mushroom gravy, which I do a lot, but this will do the trick. I'm gonna start by just putting the asparagus in the oven. I love baked asparagus. I'm gonna do some fresh garlic with the asparagus. As you saw, we kind of were not lucking out the most in Florida, so we were deciding to continue our journeys. We were going to stop in New Orleans, and there was a bunch of storms coming through in like Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, so we have been driving a lot and we have made it to the middle of nowhere in Texas. I think our game plan is to just kind of keep heading west now, especially with tornado season coming, but we did finally reach the land of BLM land, public land, which is very exciting. It has been a while since we've been at a spot like this that we just know we can be at, so we are gonna go outside and enjoy that a little bit with the cats, which is the perfect time for me to try out another setting on the OM5. I am so excited to see how this works because I've already kind of tested all the features with it being dust proof and water resistant and all the good things that come with living on the road, but I haven't been able to try out a few of the action stops because we just haven't really been able to get out and adventure as much as we want to because we've been so stressed about parking. So there is a feature on here called Pro Capture, which if you have little pets or you have little kids or anything where you need to get a lot of split-second photography or videography, you know, it can be a little tricky sometimes because there's always that little minute of lag when you press the shutter and when you're actually trying to capture something that's happening. So with the Pro Capture feature on the OM5 by OM system, as soon as I press the shutter down halfway, it starts recording different frames, and then when I push it all the way, it captures 14 different frames within like a split second, and it completely avoids that time lag. So we're gonna get the cats all in their harness and leashes and go and try this out and see if I can get some good still shots of them, which is always very hard to do. We got the harness and leash. Oh, yeah, party. got the shot.
I got that.
Very lady love. There you go. On the day's work, kids. It's hot. Having such a compact and small and light camera that still allows us to get such high resolution photos and videos is just key. It is why we are so obsessed with the decision for us to switch to OM systems, and particularly this OM5 camera, because I can easily throw it on, but I do not feel like I am missing out on any content by bringing something a lot larger like we used to. So thank you again to OM Systems for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back into the vlog and see if we have any more luck finding parking today. Now that you guys are all caught up with our experiences out in Florida, we are officially in Texas, and we are at a campsite that is about $40 a night. We don't always pay, but until we get over to New Mexico, which is our next state, a lot of them there's not public land, so there's not a lot of free land that we can camp on. So we decided to just splurge to get a campsite with a good old shower, all that jazz, and that is where we're at now. So let me give you a little tour. So we just got in here last night and we just had a fire and cooked dinner a little bit, but now I'm going to do a quick 10-minute cleanup inside of the bus because it's a disaster from making breakfast this morning. And then we are going to paddle because we got a stand-up paddleboard, as you guys saw briefly, and we are going to go to the other side of the river and have a little picnic, day party, enjoy the sun while we can, because the next 2 days are storms, so we gotta soak it in. So let's go. 10-minute cleanup. Let's see if I can do it quick.